Hi guys, this is your instructor Peter Olson. In this video I'm going to show you how to use the files for the hero portrait, which you will download from the assignment. If you're looking at FSO as I am here, and you go to your hero portrait assignment and you go into the actual assignment, you'll see a written description of everything you're going to be doing for this assignment due at the end of the week. And here you have this HP presentation folder zip file, and that's what you want to download and save to your color theory folder. In my case, I'm going to save it to the desktop, but you should have a folder for color theory, and that's where you should put it. V paste. All right, so make sure your artwork is on this artboard. As you go through this assignment, you're going to create color relationships. Those will be additional artboards or additional documents, and we'll go over that in a little bit. But provided you've got this the way you want to save this file. Since it's a template, it opens as an untitled document. So I'm going to call it my grayscale portrait. And save it in the same folder where you were, this original art gray. Save it there. Alright, now I'm going to jump over to InDesign. And you should have some familiarity with InDesign. Let me move this out of the way. InDesign. So you should have some familiarity with InDesign. What you're going to do is go in InDesign and open that document on your desktop, on my desktop. Actually, I'm just going to click on it here. I'm going to open this document, and you'll notice these gray boxes. So they're gray. These are picture frames, and if you understand InDesign, you know that this is where you're going to place artwork. Now, the reason they're gray is because we added a gray background to them, and that's really just so you can see them clearly. You don't need to have a gray background in there. If you want to turn that off altogether, you could just go in here and say none. But on you'll notice the first page has project name, your name. For project name, you should put the name of your hero, whatever that is. And obviously your name is your name. Alright, so now we'll go to, that's page 1. Now we'll go into page 2. This is where your grayscale portrait goes. So to place your grayscale portrait into the InDesign template, you can select this picture frame and do File Place or Command D, File Place, Command D on the keyboard, and it brings up the dialog box, and that's where you want to find your artwork. And if you remember, you placed it into your grayscale folder. There's mine. I'm going to say open, and it opens into this picture frame. Now you'll notice right away this is cropped rather badly, and I don't want it to be cropped at all. So easy way to fix that. With this artwork selected, I'm going to go over here to these little buttons, and there are several options here, but you want to pick the one that says fit content proportionally. And what that does is it fits your artwork in that frame without cutting off any of it, and it keeps the proportions accurate so it's not distorted. And that's how you place your artwork in. Now, as you go through the rest of the pieces you're going to create, if you go down here, page 2, your monochromatic and complementary color relationships will go here and here. Your split complementary and double complementary. And then on page 5, your analogous and triadic. On page 6, you're going to put your final design, whatever you decided on. On page 7, there are placeholders here for the color separations, and that's a separate video that's going to show you how to create those. And then this final t-shirt design. So this is a Photoshop template. It is placed in this InDesign, pre-placed in the InDesign document for you. So the way this works, this is actually placed, this file is placed in here twice. You'll see there's a box, this box in the foreground, and then this box in the background. It's actually the same file placed twice. And here's how it really works, because it's actually quite clever if you see how this works. So if I click and I select this front piece, this has the Photoshop file for me to place my hero portrait in. And if I go to my links, I see here, you see it's placed twice. I can click on Edit Original here in this. I'm sorry, this is a links palette, and it says Edit Original. I click on that once, and what it does is it actually goes and opens Photoshop, opens this file in Photoshop. And this is where you can place your hero portrait. When you look at the layers here, you have this double click to add art, and guess what you do? You double click it. And if you have your Illustrator file, you can copy and paste it right in here and then close this. It'll say, do you want to save? And you say yes, and then your artwork will appear. There's a more detailed video about how to use this template in the assignment. But provided you did all that and you're okay, when you go back to InDesign, it will update with your artwork. Now, the reason it's placed twice is because we have this wonderful background behind it. And if you want the background, you can just leave it there. But if you choose to have no background or to have a different background, you can click on it and delete it. And then your shirt will just appear on white. Now, on each page, you notice there's a little thing that says your name and project name. Now, how do you access that? Because if you click on it, you can't access it. Well, these placeholders are actually on what we call the master page. And if you look up here, you'll see a master. That's the master page. So double click here. It takes me to the master page. And now I have access to these text boxes. So I can type in my name. And for the project name, you would put the name of your hero. Once you're done, you go back into the document by clicking on the pages here, and you can see, we'll go to page 2, you can see it's now updated on every single page all at once. That's a great thing about master page.